Frank Fiore Show with our hosts, Dr. Muhammad of the Artilla Podcast and Frank Fiore, host of the Frank Fiore Show. Frank, what's the latest on AI this week for you?
Well, we're getting close to making the trailer. We ran across a problem with Sora that they would not take the characters that we created, which are not real people, but it seems that they may have changed their tune because you're working with one of the characters, and they did take it. So we're going to see what happens. But obviously, it's important. We can't make a movie trailer if they won't let us use our characters. So, but it did work in VO3. So it did work in that, and if we have to, we could move to that. And VO3 wasn't too bad. That looked pretty good. But I think it's very interesting. If Sora is going to allow us to do that, last week they did not allow us to do that. So it's like things are changing so fast. You're just going to have to see how they respond to VO3.
Right, Dr. Muhammad?
Yeah, I think it's good because that creates a sort of competition to relax a bit the rules. Because if your big competitor is allowing you to have human characters, then you have a precedent, even legally speaking. So, but I saw a lot of comments. People are getting more and more duped by AI created videos, thinking that they are really real. So there is a big shout out from people that are asking the social media to kind of label AI created videos or something like that.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah,
I created it, and I think that's ridiculous because it's your creation. A lot of fake things are done in the editing booth. So what's
yeah.
the difference?
And also we do it with fake with actors. The whole acting thing is fake. So I don't know how it will go. So we may
Okay.
have to put some labels generated by AI or something for some videos.
Okay, well, fantastic. What else is what do you? So, Frank, the next step is us uploading the characters to tell them the next process of the development.
The next one is a teaser trailer, okay, with the real characters that we created in it, in the scenes. We have the scenes, we know what they are. We just need to perfect them, and then with the character in it. So that's done. Well, that's about 2, 3 minutes. Then we do the extended trailer in Hollywood talk. You do the extended trailer, and that's going to be several minutes. So that'll be longer. And then once that, again, if we can have the consistency of the character, because uh, in the extended trailer, that character shows up multiple times. And so if we nail that and that works, then we're ready to go to the actual movie. And I suppose the best thing to do is obviously the first thing to do is to see if we can make some money on Yoo-hoo, make some money on YouTube, which would be nice. We'll get that out there. I'll leave that up to you, Neil. You know
Yeah.
how it works. And so we'll definitely push to try and get some money, views for the views of the extended trailer. And then what we'll do is we'll take shots at the different parts of the movie and do them individually and get them out there and try and make some money on that. And maybe we'll have enough money to actually do the whole 60 to 90-minute movie.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
would be cool.
Definitely some exciting things coming on that end from putting it on YouTube to all the process. Now, Dr. Muhammad, let's talk today about Google's development. How people are saying Google is ahead of ChatGPT now. Have you
Oh yeah,
tested out the latest Google stuff? Do you believe
yeah.
it? What is your thoughts? Do you think it's all hype?
I did a quick test with Gemini 3. I think the big hype is Gemini 3, Gemini 3 Pro, and yeah, it looks so again from a coding perspective and technical related, it's very powerful. Right now, it's sort of expensive because you get a lot of limitations, but it's very powerful. I will dig more this next few days, and I will tell you more next week. But it is a big jump forward, apparently.
So, what is the big jump forward? I mean, I don't think intuitively they're very good at having a conversation with still.
No, maybe not like the human conversational feeling, but like the mathematical tests, the scientific tests, the how much the model thinking ability is and logic and calling tools, all those benchmark tests that they do every time that they push a new model. And I think the biggest break is that Microsoft was able to resolve a bottleneck that OpenAI has not been able to do, and it has to do with their TPUs. So Google is using this new sort of GPUs that they call TPUs, and apparently there is something at the hardware level, which I will dig more and tell you more about it.
Wow.
Okay.
So what do
And
you
it's
think
still
is
very
so
hot.
like is it able to do agents, or what do you think is the big thing? But then the cost. Remember, you go and do VO3, 5 videos, you're done for the day. So how is that great?
It's the similar. The cost-wise, it's very
Oh.
expensive. Yeah,
But what
for
do
me,
you
it's very expensive.
is there any way to make it better or do more?
Yeah,
Or
I think every month or every 2 months they reduce the price per token. That's the main charge they use. So it will come down, but as it came out recently, they either limit you on the number of queries and tokens you use, or they charge so high that you have to kind of
so how do people able as an agency or a big organization able to do so many credits? Is that because they have multiple accounts?
know that you just put your card and then it bills you.
It doesn't
It's
do
pay
that
as you
for
go.
VO3. They limit you for the number of videos and don't
Yeah,
say you can pay more.
You can't buy
I
extra.
think because video really consumes too much of resources, but for a text AI model, they just make it more expensive and they let you go further.
Neil, that they won't let you buy extra credits.
Nope.
Huh.
I think
That's
they're
why I'm
afraid
wondering
to
how
be
people are
overwhelmed.
using VO3 more. I think it's because they use it with a wrapper on it with some other platform. It looks
Yes,
like that
possibly,
must
or
be.
they have three different accounts with three different credit cards, and they switch.
Yeah, but that's an expensive thing. That's $260 each one.
It it is.
Then you could create
Yeah.
15 videos a day. Wow.
I thought,
You better
Yes,
be good with the prompts or you're screwed.
oh yeah. Well, that goes back to what
indeed.
we've been saying about if you're an author and you want to create a whatever or a film or whatever off of your novel, that prompt has got to be so good. And if you're an author, you're writing great prompts in the novel. I mean, it's what's
Indeed.
telling a story, and it's very descriptive. So if you're a real author and you know how to write, you shouldn't have a problem creating those prompts.
Indeed. I had a question, Neil and Frank, in your experience, because in multimedia, the sound sometimes has as much importance as the image. So I know that for the realism of the image, they are struggling, but how was the sound from the beginning to now? Your experience with sound creation and the environment that it creates
On video?
on the video on both
Oh my,
on
it's
Sora.
unreal. It's unreal how good it is.
So that's a very big point because sound will immerse the listener, and if there is
Oh
suspense
yeah,
and
when
stuff.
you do some of these things from Sora, you're gonna get so
Mhm.
many views. It's ridiculous on other platforms. Not Sora yet, because Sora still. I guess I can invite as many people as I want to Sora now. Sora did finally allow more open up to invite more people, but yeah,
Mhm. Okay, good, good, good. So the sound has been very good.
yeah, oh yeah. Wouldn't you agree,
Yeah,
Frank?
that's
The
important.
sound of the videos and stuff are really good.
Yeah, no problem with that so far. So, Dr. Mohammed, what do you see the impediments are going to be as we move further? Not just technology, but political and social. What do you think? See what impediments do you see on the horizon here?
Well, the biggest and I think almost the only one that is being talked now seriously is propaganda. Because whatever the humans were able to do in terms of propaganda, the AI can do it in the X thousands or so on. So deceptive propaganda through deep fake videos, making Trump say something that he never said. Even if people realize that it was fake, it will have done some damage anyway. So I think this is the biggest fear that the political class and the governments and the leadership is having.
And what's
And
going to be their response? If
I don't know. It's going to be, I think, just like the American history of dealing with dangerous things is a good benchmark. Like when alcohol came and then they banned alcohol, and then it created so much more problems of banning alcohol with Al Capone and all these things. So, and then they said, okay, and ban alcohol. And then they did the same with many kind of substance. So I think it would be big compliance first to see how it goes, but they will lock us on so many aspects, like nail the problems you're having now. It will be a policy issue. It's not a technical issue. It's not a technical challenge or bottleneck. It's really a policy compliance issue. And
Right.
then
And that's the concern I have is at one point they're going to limit it. Maybe.
they are, yeah. Yeah, they are already
Maybe.
limiting it. Yeah.
I mean, in certain countries they are.
No, even in the US, because what is the reason why you cannot do a human realistic character? Is because there was a policy law in California or somewhere saying that you cannot imitate human with AI yet. And then they have to implement it. Maybe it's not in all the states. And I think you pointed this out, Neil. You said that when you're in New York, you can do this, but if you're in LA, you can't do this, something like that. There could
That's
be
potentially
state
the
level.
truth. And President Trump's trying to go back and go after every state that limits AI. He
Yeah.
wants to he
So
wants to punish them for trying to limit it. And that goes back to unions and it goes back to brand awareness and it goes back. I mean,
yeah,
actors got a lot to deal with because of the amount of multimedia out there and things like that nature. I don't care about limiting video or certain things. I'm more wanting them not to limit the knowledge I can get from
yeah.
AI. That's what I don't ever want limited. The ability to ask them questions that they're like, sure, I'll become your doctor. Sure, I'll become your engineer. Sure, I'll become your expert. When it says you have to contact a coach, then you'll know it's been limited.
Yeah, but well, it said that you have to consult a doctor.
It does
You know when you,
sometimes.
yeah, they
It
have
does
done that
say
in the
it.
training,
It does say you have to contact a doctor, but you say, no, I want you to be my doctor. Okay.
and then we'll spill the beans. Okay. Well, at least they warned you. You should see a doctor, but okay, now I can answer you.
No, I said, you become my doctor. And it's a sure, I'll become your doctor.
Nice.
And then you say, I want you to be my functional medicine doctor. Okay, great. And you go through the thing. Or I want you to become my attorney. Great. It becomes your attorney. I want you to become this, and it will. Now, if you allow the voice to do it, it's a dummy. That's the thing. You're not
Mm.
getting the knowledge when you have conversational AI. I'm not a fan as much anymore of it. I like to do it when I'm really don't have any other time, but
Mhm.
conversational AI gives you a weaker uh, answers than chat does. And it's because of the number of GPUs, CPUs.
Yeah, it needs more processing, yeah. But you know, whatever limitation any government may put, state level, city level, or federal level, or international level, you will always have somebody who will unlock the AI model and make it available unlocked. Just like when they first launched the iPhone, it was locked with them with one operator, Verizon, or I think another one. And then people find a way to unlock it so that you can benefit from the whole iPhone. The same thing will happen, I think, with AI models if they get locked too much
Right.
policy wise.
Go ahead, Frank. What are you thinking? What questions do you have to Dr. Muhammad now?
Oh, outside of using the AI for the film,
Mhm.
we've been using it also for a proposal that we want to make to a clinic. And it's just really fascinating. I don't even bother writing a draft now. What I do is if I need something like that, I just call up AI and say, here are the pieces that I want to say. Okay, I want to say this, that, the other, or give me information, this, that, and the other. And then I let AI run with it, and it's surprising how they take the piece of the main points that I want them to make. Not only did they make those main points in draft format, but then they come back with recommendations, and that's what surprises me. Is they said, "Now, would you like to see?" Wow, I hadn't even thought about asking that. And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just amazing that they think ahead, okay, uh, uh,
definitely.
and give you the options.
Totally.
Yeah,
Thinking
yeah.
good, Dr. Muhammad.
No, no, go ahead.
I mean, the thing I think this is the greatest tool of what AI is it's a learning tool. An
Yeah.
organization called EdU presented a teaching software to me that I think it was not ready for prime time, in my opinion, for people because I think till we get AGI, till we hit
Mhm.
AGI, it's not ready. Once we hit AGI, that would be fantastic. But it really goes back to using it as an inquisitive tool. It's
Yeah.
research. Research is the biggest thing that AI brings to the table, and most people don't use it for research. Most people coding, I think it's a great thing, but I'm going to debate, and this is not a knock on what Dr. Muhammad does, but a lot of these skills are still not better than a human doing them.
Mhm.
Yes, it will improve. However, there's a lot of anxiety when you could just go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. That's not the case when it comes to research. It researches 78,000 times better than anything else. It can give you answers faster than you couldn't believe, and it can find information and uncover information more than anything. And then you can become better. You now can get in the room with some of the gurus if you study enough, and you can have a quick crash course and get in a meeting and really hold your own if you have the ability to process information and then apply that information to your conversation. It's a lot of people
Indeed.
need to have notes right here and say, okay, let me no, I this is up at the top of my head, and this is how I use this software, and this is how I learn things. Uh, the big thing is that with all the R&D credits are now available, and if you guys are interested and you have a business and you're looking to write off your taxes ton by all the research and development you're doing as an organization, go ahead and definitely DM me, because this is the thing. You have to be innovative in 2025 going into 2026. If you're not innovative, if you're not willing to become better, you might as well get out of the game now, because I'm going to crush you at one point, because I'm going to find all the information that's needed and figure it out. I'm going to figure out what these rich people never want to tell secrets to the middle class. I'm going to find all those things out thanks to AI. There are certain secrets that were never able to be found that now with AI you can find them.
Indeed. I'm sorry I mute myself because there is a fireworks on the beach
We don't hear the
where I
fireworks
live.
on the beach, but we don't want to hear that when there's snow
Okay,
outside.
that's good
And then
enough.
what about you, Frank?
Yep, we're starting the snow season. We actually had some flurries, snow on the ground. So I think we're gonna
Yeah,
have
I
a
can't believe you're that
Ah,
close to where
nice.
it's warm and it's cold. That's crazy.
yeah, well,
Ah, yes, for you guys it's
A different
winter.
part of Arizona, only 3 hours you drive and it's warm, right?
in Arizona, you could go from sand dunes to snow peak, snow top peaks. I mean, right in the same state, and then within
How
hours.
is that? How do they do that? I mean, how does that, is that how is it you have warm area? I guess it's the same thing when you see LA and people are in warm LA and then they at the beach and they drive 3 hours and they're in the mountains.
Well, that's what you can do here in Arizona.
Yeah,
Wow.
nice.
I don't find that
Uh,
nice, but I would
but
love
it's
it to be
nice.
warm all the
You're
time.
3 hours. If you
He's
miss the heat, you're just 3 hours away from whatever you want to
Yeah, that's
experience.
true. In Arizona, it's probably he lives in probably a place that a lot of people are retiring instead of Florida now, aren't they, Frank?
Yep, they are, and yeah, a lot of people are moving to Prescott, unfortunately, but it's still got that small town feel, and it's still a city, as opposed to just being,
Mm.
like the White Mountains, for instance, are just they have towns there, but they're not cities, and so you miss the metropolitan area stuff that goes on in a larger city. So it's
But big thinkers can really think big even further. I mean, the number of millionaires and billionaires have been created with AI, Dr. Muhammad, but they were ready,
Mm.
is unreal.
Yeah,
And the reason is they had the resources and the idea. The resources,
that's
the
right.
other big thing is because, when you hear millionaires and billionaires were made, they had the right contacts that could invest in their idea. I wonder what those idea people are doing now. They're the ones that come up with those ideas is I have an idea and I want to get it patented. Go and use AI
Mm.
to make your dreams come true quickly, because there's going to be only a small window, I think, Dr. Muhammad, in the
Yeah.
AI boom before all that is done, right? Where you can make like gold rush money fast.
Yeah, I think there will be like a bubble effect like we had in 2001 with the internet and there will be the same thing, maybe more pronounced with AI. But then there is a study that came to my mind when you were saying this, Neil. I don't know if you heard it, but eBay about 15 years ago or 10 years ago, they wrote an article with a big US law firm, and they called it the rise of micro multinationals. So at that time, the concept was that one small guy could behave and run a business like a multinational. And I think that is even more true now with an AI, because you can be a single person and run an organization like it's Coca-Cola or like it's Apple. You can compete with multinationals as a single individual. It's even more true now. So I think after the bubble, Neil, we will have true value propositions from single man or two people that are providing the value of multinationals, and then there will be sort of a balancing where
So you think at one
small.
point all this money that's flown that's not going to make anyone any money, it's invested. For example, the only run really that's doing well is Nvidia. Nvidia is
Yeah,
leading all the driving and costs. If ChatGPT, if OpenAI loses to Google and becomes Clubhouse, which was my prediction, and it
yeah,
still could happen, that it'll be worthless. Sam Altman's company will be worthless, and everyone else around it will be worthless. And then everyone that got the investment money with all these rappers are going to be like, no, this wasn't thought out correctly. It's not
yeah.
ready for the market. And then they lose. I see that happening.
No, definitely, and it's already happening. They are starting to fight in pricing. Everybody is reducing the price per token. So you can already see that at one point, maybe all the AI models are going to be almost the same, and they saturated. They built so much infrastructure. They will give us the tokens for free or virtually
Or
free.
or or you're gonna be descriptive and raise your prices 6 times and everyone's gonna leave you soon. I'm angry at the
That's
script. The script decided to charge for their AI and it's expensive and it makes no sense to pay for it. So, I mean, it was good. It was a great extra tool, but to charge so much extra and get this, once you run out of credits, and I don't get why they do
Uh,
this. Let's say they pay you have a subscription rate for 35 bucks. Oh,
yeah,
just to get 5 more media hours, it's going to cost you 25 bucks. Why don't I just sign up for another account and do it again? Why do
yeah,
they do this? Because people are idiots. They're going to go buy the extra credits because they need it immediately. I don't get it.
yeah. A lot. Yeah, no, it happens. A lot of people are just lazy or they don't think about opening a new account. So that's easy money, but that will not last long. People will smarten up, and there
And
will
they
be
will leave.
competition,
They will leave
and they
because
will
of
leave. Yeah,
competition. Because again,
yeah,
it's like they've not studied the economy. You basically want to be in an economy that your product or service continues to innovate so that you don't have to worry about the competition for long term as long as you innovate. If you become boring, if you don't change your ways, you will lose. Frank, that's the key component. What's happening today is going to be totally different in 2026. What's happening in 2026 will be totally different than 2027. You
oh yeah,
cannot go the same old and survive.
that's right. You got to adapt, and a lot of people can't do that. I mean, think about the percentage of the population who really got the courage or the ability to adapt, and that's a really small percentage of people, right? Like when I told my son, I said, "Your grandfather had to compete with everybody on the same block. I had to compete on everybody in the same state. I You're going to compete with everybody in the same country, and then your grandchildren are going to be competing with everybody in the whole world." And
No,
that's
the universe, the universe.
well, that's the
yeah,
next
yes,
step.
metaverse.
You got to have that kind of a mindset. If I want to succeed, you got to compete. I mean, yeah, right now
Yeah,
we're seeing the battle between capitalism and socialism, right? We know darn well that socialism takes to extreme does not work.
yeah,
Capitalism taken to extreme has problems also because then it restricts people from from being innovative and what have you. So yes, they both have their faults, but capitalism has the ability to reward those innovators, which improve the society. Capitalism, socialism doesn't reward any kind of innovation and wants to keep everybody down at a certain level, and that will not improve society. Now,
No, that's like we talked about, Dr. Muhammad talked about, and I did universal income, that certain people are just going
mm,
to be paid to stay home and
Some
not work.
someday
That's
that
communism. That's communism. And this is proposed by the capitalists.
Yes.
yeah,
It's
right.
proposed. Yeah. We're going to just pay you to stay home.
Well,
That's going to cause so much chaos.
it's the Star Trek
And go
scenario,
ahead.
right? It's the Star Trek scenario. You're 2 centuries from now, and how do people make a living? Well, that you got to figure that out. But I'd like somebody to write the economics of the Federation. You know, these
Yes.
people. What's the socio-econ? Well, we know what the socio is. Everybody loves everybody else, but we get what's the economic foundation? With people when everything is made for you. Right now, we can take atoms and reproduce them with no problem, right? We can reproduce atoms. Excuse me, not atoms, electrons, right? You give information away, you're not really giving away because you still have it, right? But we still haven't figured out how to move atoms and the same way that we do to give information. And that's going to be when this nanotechnology finally kicks
Yeah.
in and you have the nano toaster, throwing your nano, and out comes a Ferrari. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, or like they had in the spaceship where you can get an apple or a coffee, and then it's
yeah,
one
yeah.
4D printer. It just prints your food.
That's happening. That's happening next week, right?
Uh,
We're in
yeah, I
developments
think
of that.
it will come fast.
No, I just think universal income for people to stay home and that's what Elon says. No one's going to have to work. Sometimes Elon's saying things to get people riled up because it's a lot
Yes.
further. Because I'm waiting for these flying cars still. Come on, the Jetsons were our time period. It's not happened yet. No, it's not the Jetsons, but Back to the Future. We've already gone past 1985 or wherever it was, or 2000, whatever they had in Back to the Future. It's already happened,
Yes.
and nothing's happened yet. So, and then I've been hearing for years that there's going to be hotels on the moon. There's no hotels on the moon yet. So innovation is a great thing, but staying and understanding the futurists work out very well. However, they have a long time to wait till it finally
Yeah.
happens.
Did you see the robotics the film or whatever it was? The news. There was a news article about the Japanese robotic company. They were showing them off, and people said, "No, no, no, there's a person inside that thing." And so, in order to prove it, they brought the robot out and they cut his leg off, and to show him that hey, there's no human in here. This is all electronics. It was fascinating.
Wow, that's very samurai way.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that certain robots are coming out. They want somebody to control it from somewhere else to have your
Now,
robot do all your work in your house.
this
And
wasn't.
but this other one is not. I cannot wait to Optimus. If Optimus works,
Oh,
we're going to
that
be
could be
talking about a
yeah.
big thing happening with Optimus. All right. So go to frankfiore.com, check out rtila.com, and go to neilhaley.com and immediategiantproductions.com. And what I'm going to tell you guys is, never ever be complacent. Complacency is not going to be a good thing. I mean, I just can imagine the people that say, I don't want to be, business owner or entrepreneur because you work 24/7. There's no time off unless you try to say you have time off when you really don't. Um, and so I'm going to work for somebody, get a good salary, come home. I can forget about things at 5 o'clock. Those jobs will not be around because you'll be working a lot more hours
Yeah.
and they're going to expect work from you all the time because of what we're seeing in this trajectory with AI. So appreciate it, guys. And we will talk next week. That was the special
Thank you.
Trimulcast, the Neil Haley Show, the Artilla podcast.